we are going to be doing trigonometric equations. So let us say we have an equation like this: 3 sine x plus 1 is equal to 0. And let's say we've been given the first condition that x is between 0 and 180, less than x is less than equal to 180 and it is greater than equal to 0. Okay, find x. Okay, so first thing we'll do is we'll solve this equation. So we will put 3 sine x is equal to negative 1. Sine of x is equal to negative 1 over 3. Now um, we have let's first find out sine x. Let's for a second let's take sine x equal to 1 over 3. Okay, let's take the absolute value or the positive value. Now if we find the sine inverse of 1 over 3, okay, we get x is equal to 19.47 degrees. Okay, now what do? We take the diagram, we make this graph, xy graph. Okay, mark this as 0, 90, 180, 270 and 360. Okay, we'll make two lines like this. Okay, and we'll label this with the alphabets A, S, T, C. So when you have A means all. That means everything is positive in this quadrant. Okay, everything positive in this quadrant, all. So what between 0 and 90, everything means sine, cos, tan, all three positive. Okay, so we will mark arrows like this, anti-clockwise arrows in the first quadrant or in the all quadrant and in the tan quadrant, which is the T. Okay, anti-clockwise. Okay, and in the S and C we will mark clockwise arrows. Remember, these arrows always stay the same. Okay, now we have to find sine x equal to negative 1 by 3. We actually need to find sine inverse of negative 1 by 3, but we found out the sine inverse of the absolute value, which was 19.47. So what we'll do is we'll write this value everywhere. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll take we need to find x between 0 and 180. Now first let's see, between 0 and 90, is x going to be negative? Can we get a negative value? Because we know one thing, that if you do sine inverse of negative 1 over 3, you will get negative 19.47, right? Negative 19.47 means clockwise from 0. Okay, whenever we talk about anti-clockwise and clockwise, remember anti-clockwise positive, AC, anti-clockwise is positive and the other one is negative, clockwise is negative. So we know that all and sine both in both these quadrants, first and second quadrant, sine is positive, and in the other two quadrants it is negative, tan and cos. First we have to see this condition. It says x is between 0 and 180. So can any value of x satisfy this equation? No, it cannot satisfy, because nowhere in these two quadrants is sine negative. Between 0 and 180 you don't have any negative value of sine. So the answer of this is no solution. Okay, let's look at the case when we don't have 180, we have 360. In that case, now we will have some solutions, right? So x is between 0 and 360, and we know this axis as 180. We know this tail and this arrow is clockwise. So whenever you have a clockwise arrow, sorry, whenever you have an anti-clockwise arrow, you have to add. Why do we go in this quadrant? Because in this quadrant sine is negative, right? Sine inverse of whatever value you will put here will be negative, right? So this quadrant is which one? It is the quadrant between 180 and 270. Okay, so if we find if because it is an anti-clockwise arrow, so we add from 180, from the tail we add. The tail is at 180 axis. So x is equal to 180 plus 19.47. That is the first value, which comes to 199.47. This is the first value answer. What is the second value answer? We have to see, we have to go in this quadrant. Why we are in this quadrant? Because in tan sign was in the tan quadrant sign was negative, and even in the cos quadrant sign is negative. In this case we have a clockwise arrow. From the tail we have to subtract. So 360 minus x is equal to 360 minus 19.47, that comes out to 340.53. So these are my two answers, 340.53. So x is equal to 340.53 and 199.47. Thank you.